Hello everyone, my name's Mike and welcome to Tech Car Moon, where I talk about and review camera tech, gadgets and smart gizmos. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But today we'll be talking about what I want to see in 2020. Let's jump into it. So 2020 should be one of the most interesting years for tech. So I thought I would share what I would love to see as a tech geek. So if you are into smart home tech like I am sure you want to see more affordable and more compatible devices. First of all, Philips Hue/Signify have been dominating the smart home game for years now, and they have a huge part of the pie when it comes to product selection and sort of do-it-yourself smart home kits. But I want to see that change. Now, it's not to say that I don't like their products. I mean, far from it. I have a lot of their stuff in my own home, but I would love to see companies like Yeelight, for example, bring out not just only more sort of smart bulbs and plugs, but also accessories like motion sensors and smart switches that work with these bulbs and plugs. I would also love to see companies again like Yeelight also bring out outdoor lighting too at more affordable pricing. Philips Hue really are one of the only companies to really bring out outdoor smart home lighting. Continuing from the smart home tech, I now want to talk about what I want to see from Apple. Google and Amazon have been dominating the smart home sort of small speaker market for many years now, and I want to see Apple join them too. Now, I'm not a fanboy of Apple before you sort of go and accuse me of being one, but I still can't believe that for an Apple user who might be sort of partially or fully into the Apple ecosystem, they don't have a small smart speaker option. The cheapest and only option from Apple is this HomePod, which costs £279. Like, come on. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a great speaker. The technology in this is worth the price tag in my opinion. But seriously, Apple, like Google and Amazon have got a smart speaker for about £50. I mean, most of the time I can find them for about £30 to £35, which is normally when they discount it, and normally that is several times throughout the year. Now, I know you won't bring out something that cheap, but if you brought out, let's say, a smart speaker for like £99, so many people would be rushing to your stores to get them. I can even imagine people buying them as gifts for their loved ones and friends too. But if you do something like this, please open up the music and app support for this and allow us to use our own streaming service of choice. Also, let us use it as a Bluetooth speaker if you don't give us any of the other things that I've spoken about. I think it should be also wall mounted, as I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to run out of space on surfaces to put all this smart tech on. All that you need to do, Apple, is just call it the HomePod Mini. Charge £99 for it, and you will open up a whole new revenue stream for sure. Speaking of Apple, they have been dominating the smartwatch game for a long time now. However, their market share has been dropping as the competition has been getting a lot better and a lot cheaper. So Google, if you're listening, please just launch the Pixel Watch already. I mean, you've got Google and Android fans who have been waiting, and it's time for you to join this fight. I mean, I've been using my Moto 360 for a while now, and that thing was launched back in 2014. There are some great smartwatches out there, don't get me wrong, but as people have gravitated to the Pixel phone for the unrivaled software updates, their customers are also waiting for the same for their wrists too. The new Moto 360 actually looks kind of cool, so I'm interested definitely in that when that launches here in the UK. My love for camera gear and cameras in general is probably just as much as it is for smart home tech, and seriously, I want to see a few things launched in 2020. Firstly, Sony, the A7S III. Do I need to say more? For those of you who don't know, the A7S II is one of the best low light 4K hybrid cameras out there. However, it is now getting a little bit outdated. It doesn't include their phase detection autofocus that you find in the A7 III, and its image quality is a little bit softer compared to the A7 III, and its color science as well just, again, isn't as nice as the A7 III as well. So here are my predictions for this camera. This, I think, will be a Netflix approved camera. I also think it will be slightly cheaper than the A7sIII from Panasonic, between sort of £200 to £400 or dollars cheaper. There are some rumours that there'll be some kind of 13 megapixel or so camera, so a slight increase from the older model, but nothing sort of game changing or anything like that. This also means that if they do include a sensor like this, there will be no 6K recording, because you need at least sort of a 18 megapixel camera to record in 8K, and also having a megapixel camera like that on the A7 means that or A7S III means that it won't be the low light beast that everyone sort of knows and loves. I also think that we'll see dual ISO on this camera, making this basically able to see in the dark. We definitely will see Sony's new color science, as well as Sony's new phase detection system that we've seen obviously in the A7 III. Now, will we see a flippy screen? No, I don't think we will, but I do think we'll see more function buttons, as well as more customizations as well. And more importantly, I think we'll definitely see them using the Z-type battery, which will massively improve the battery life on the new A7S III. Now, in terms of video specs for the A7S III, I really hope to see 4K 60, as well as 1080p at 180 frames per second, and most importantly, I really hope to see a 10-bit 422 internal recording. Now, it would be amazing to see 4K 400 megabits all I/O internal, but I'm not gonna push it. Moving on to Panasonic, the GH6 and the GH6S. Now, I don't think we'll see the GH6S in 2020, maybe in Q1 of 2021. But these cameras I think will be more exciting, especially for me, and possibly for a lot of you guys who really enjoy your micro four thirds sensors out there. Now, on the GH6, I don't think we'll see phase detection, and am I bothered? No, not really. I use manual focus most of the time, like in this video, and the autofocus is good enough to use every now and again. Plus, I think Panasonic will put a new processor in the new GH6 as well, making it a little bit better in terms of autofocus than it has been on the GH5. If you do some searching online, people are talking about this 41 megapixel sensor for the GH6, but I don't think this is for the GH6. I mean, it would kill the low light use of this camera for video use. I think this sensor is more probably pointed towards the G9 Mark II, as this is more aimed for photographers, as we normally see higher megapixel counts on things like the A7R series or even like the Panasonic S1R series as well. I think we might see the same pixel count, maybe even like a 25 megapixel count. And I really hope to see 16:9 6K recording internal, whether that be 8-bit or 10-bit, who knows, but just to see 6K recording I think will be really cool. I also think that we'll see even better in-body stabilization, and maybe even better inbuilt sort of internal recording options as well. Maybe even like a ProRes option. Will I say raw external? I don't know, because I think that might kill the A7sIII's sort of sales, but who knows. I also think we'll see dual ISO, as with the rise of full frame cameras, micro four thirds needs as much low light advantage as it can get, I think, to survive in this game now. I think we'll also see a high bitrate slow motion recording as well. So the GH6, I think, in my opinion, or my guess, will probably be some of the best slow motion recording out there. Even better than obviously the GH5, which is kind of famous for its very high quality slow motion recording. But there we have it. Those are my predictions as well as things that I want to see in 2020. But as always, this is a discussion. Please leave a comment down below on what you want to see in 2020, as well as what else you would add to what I've said about my predictions for 2020. If you've enjoyed this video, please drop a like. It really helps me out. If you want to see more content from me, then hit that subscribe button and join Tech Car Moon like so many of you have already done. And if you aren't already, please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tech Car Moon. Also, check out the links in the description below to support the channel. It really does help me out. Anyway, everyone, look after yourselves and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.